Hi all, a warm welcome to all of you in the today's daily current affairs session on EduTap. My dear learners, I hope that all of you are healthy and preparing well for your upcoming exams. And when we talk about exams, current affairs plays a very important part. And PAB is one of the very most important source of these current affairs, and that is the reason that I am back once again with a very interesting topic that is being present on the screen, which we are going to discuss in our today's session. So my dear learners, before starting the session, if you are new to our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us. And you can also join our Telegram channel to get the access to the PDF of these lectures. To join the Telegram channel, kindly click on the link given in the description below. So now let's move on to the session. Let's get started. And here is the very first question before all of you, and you are required to answer the question in the comment section below. And the question is, recently the Union Cabinet has approved the treaty which was being signed between India and Dash concerning the mutual legal assistance in the criminal matters. See, recently India has signed a treaty, and this treaty has been approved by the Union Cabinet. And this treaty was in relation with the mutual legal assistance in criminal matters. And now you are going to tell me in the comment section below the name of the country with which this particular treaty has been signed by India. So my dear learners, these kind of questions which are recently in the news, see, these kind of news articles which are recently in the news are really very important, and they can become a very important part in the exam. And now let's discuss this news in the detail, and let's see that what exactly is the right answer to this question. So here you can see from the headline from the PAB itself that the cabinet has approved a treaty between India and Poland concerning the mutual legal assistance in the criminal matters. So the answer is very much clear from the headline itself that this treaty has been signed between India and Poland. And my dear learners, now what was the aim of the treaty? See, this particular treaty has been signed between the two countries in order to enhance the capability and effectiveness of both the countries, and for what? In investigation and prosecution of crimes. See, according to this particular treaty, both these countries are going to cooperate with each other in these investigation and prosecution of crimes, and that's how they are going to enhance both of each other's capability in resolving these kind of issues. And now my dear learners, when we talk about the impact of this particular treaty, then it is going to increase the effectiveness of India in tackling the criminal activities involving Poland. And apart from that, it is also going to help the policy makers in fine-tuning the policy related to the internal security. Apart from that, it is going to provide a broad legal framework for the bilateral cooperation with Poland in investigation and prosecution of crime. So I hope that this particular part is very much clear. And when we talk about the key takeaways from this particular news article, the key takeaways are the name of the country, that is India and Poland, and why the treaty has been signed. This treaty has been signed for mutual legal assistance in the criminal matters, and that's all you are required to remember from this particular news. So now moving back to the question, now please tell me in the comment section below that what exactly is the right answer to this question. See, the right answer is option D, that is Poland. I am making it D here. So my dear learners, the right answer to this particular question is option D, that is Poland, as we have already discussed in our discussion that this particular treaty has been signed between India and Poland. Okay, now moving towards the next question of our today's session, which is here on your screen. So the next question is, Straton NTPC Limited has awarded the country's first green hydrogen microgrid project at the Simhadri plant, and you are going to tell me that in which one of the following states this particular plant is being located, whether it is Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, Kerala, Tamil Nadu or Rajasthan. Do answer the question in the comment section below. See, why this particular question is important for you from the exam point of view, because in this particular news it has been discussed that NTPC has awarded the India's first green hydrogen microgrid project. See, all these kinds of news articles which are comprising of India's first. See, this is really a very important part from the news, and that is the reason that you are required to remember this particular part of the news from the exam point of view. So now let's discuss this news in detail and let's see that what exactly are the other details of this project and what exactly is the right answer to this question. So my dear learners, here you can see from the headline of the PIB itself that India's first and one of the world's largest green hydrogen microgrid project will be set up at Simhadri. And my dear learners, this Simhadri, that is at the NTPC plant which is located in Simhadri, which is in Andhra Pradesh, that is near Vishakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. And my dear learners, one more important point, that this is going to be India's first green hydrogen based energy storage project. And how it is going to impact? See, it is really going to be a game changer for India, which imports 85% of its oil requirement and 53% of its gas requirements. And that's how it is going to fulfill most of the needs of India. And apart from that, it is also going to help in decarbonizing the far off regions of the nation. And apart from that, we all of us remember that during the COP26 summit, our Honorable Prime Minister has announced that India is going to become net zero emission country by year 2070. And my dear learners, this particular initiative, this particular project is one of the steps towards achieving this particular target, that is making India net carbon emission free by year 2070. So I hope that this particular part is very much clear to all of you. And now moving back to the question. So moving back to the question, when we talk about the right answer to this question, the right answer is option A, that is Andhra Pradesh. So option A is the right answer for this particular question, and I hope that this particular question is very much clear to all of you. And now my dear learners, let's move on to the next topic of our today's discussion. That is one of the most important topic. As the PIB headline itself says that UNESCO has inscribed Durga Puja in Kolkata on the representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. See, recently during the 16th session which was held at Paris, France, the Intergovernmental Committee of UNESCO's 2003 Convention on Safeguarding of the Intangible Cultural Heritage. See, India is also a signatory to UNESCO's 2003 Convention, which aims for safeguarding the intangible cultural heritage as well as its traditional as well as living expressions. So my dear learners, this particular committee has announced that Durga Puja in Kolkata, it is one of the grandest festivals during which goddess Durga is being worshipped. So my dear learners, this particular event which is being celebrated every year in Kolkata has been added to the representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. And my dear learners, it is a recognition of the confluence of rich heritage, culture, rituals and practices. So my dear learners, we have discussed, and when we talk about the key takeaways from this part here, it is that India is a signatory to the UNESCO 2003 Convention, and the Intergovernmental Committee for the same has announced that Durga Puja in Kolkata has been added to the representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. So now, what exactly this intangible cultural heritage means? See, these are the practices, the representations, the expressions or the knowledge which are associated with some objects, instruments, artifacts, and collectively these are being recognized. These are being recognized by some communities, groups, and in some cases the individuals for as a part of their cultural heritage. And my dear learners, all these together are called the intangible cultural heritage. And with the addition of Durga Puja in Kolkata to this particular list, now India is having total of 14 intangible cultural heritage elements on the prestigious UNESCO representative list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. So my dear learners, I hope that this particular news article is very much clear to all of you. And now please tell me that which was the first intangible cultural heritage element from India which was added in this particular discussed list, that is intangible cultural heritage element. Okay, so my dear learners, please tell me, and this is the homework question for all of you. Do answer the question in the comment section below. And now moving towards the question number 3. The question number 3 is here on your screen, and all of you are requested to answer the question in the comment section below. When we talk about the question, it says that with which one of the following union territories the NTPC Renewable Energy Limited has inked a pact for a green hydrogen mobility project. See, recently with one of the union territories, the NTPC Renewable Energy Limited has signed a pact. And now you are going to tell me in the comment section below that which one of the following union territories this particular act was being signed by NTPC, whether it is Puducherry, Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir, Chennai or Lakshadweep. Do answer the question in the comment section below. And my dear learners, this was the homework question for all of you from the today's session. So now moving towards the star performers, and today I am really glad to announce that we are having a long list of these particular people. Those are star performers from our previous session, and these are Nilesh Suryavanshi, Yukti Gupta, Jyoti Kumari, Aditi Gandhi, King Shivank and Aditi Gandhi. So congratulations to all of you. And now you must be thinking that who are these particular people? See, these are those people who have answered the homework question which we have asked in our previous session correctly. And if you also want your name to be featured in this list in the upcoming session, do answer the homework questions which we have asked during this particular session. So my dear learners, that was all from my today's session. I really hope that today's session was useful and fruitful to all of you. And if you are having any kind of queries, you can drop us a mail at hello@edutab.co.in, and you can also call us at 814-620-7241. So my dear learners, thank you for joining us. Wish you all happy learning.